And alongside my husband, Marcus, I am co-founder of Inclusive Books for Children, aka IBC. I'm definitely the least talented and interesting person who's going to grace this stage this evening, so I'm going to clear the way ASAP. But since this is our very first awards cycle, hopefully of many years to come, I will just take this chance this time to briefly introduce anyone who is not 100% familiar to IBC. Marcus and I formed IBC because when we started reading with our children as a mixed heritage family, we felt left out by the picture books and children's books that were being pushed at us by the mainstream. And we figured that we couldn't be the only ones who felt that way. Happily, in recent years, the publishing industry has come some way in certain respects, and there are undoubtedly a lot more inclusive children's books available now. And our idea at IBC is to make it really easy to choose amongst all the good inclusive children's books out there now. So we offer our free website with expert reviews, both from a perspective of the storytelling and also the inclusivity itself. And we offer functionality on the site like the ability to search and filter by forms of representation as well as age and theme. We launched these awards as well to celebrate the very best of the inclusive children's titles that come our way, and also to have a go at breaking inclusivity out of a niche and into the mainstream with a covetable accolade and a big prize. So I couldn't be happier to see so many friendly faces joined this evening to celebrate these brilliant books in the way they so richly deserve. So thank you all very much for coming. However, we're not just here to quaff champagne and act like everything is right with the world, because it isn't. And at a time of censorship and fear of speaking out, and the turning upside down of truth and reason, morality, and even the very meaning of words by the people in power, I didn't feel that I could stand on a stage and not acknowledge the terrible wrong that is being done in Palestine. And our work is fundamentally connected to the long fight against the structures that allow so many people to empathize only with the suffering of those who seem like them. And IBC joins all those striving to amplify other voices and stories, that our children may see each other as equals and themselves as deserving of equality. So this evening we're here to celebrate and uplift the creative talents staking their claim on equality and understanding and shared humanity. And one such person who wasn't eligible for an award on this occasion, but is hosting, I will now hand over to the brilliant author, teacher, anti-racism advocate, and also one of our judges this year, Jeffrey Boachi. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, well, well. He wasn't eligible for an award. It all comes out now. There's me thinking I was getting brownie points by stepping in as a judge. All right. All right. Small print people, hello. My name's Jeffrey. Oh, you're good. Okay. That means the champagne guy's either done his work very well or not well enough, because some of you responded, some of you didn't. Hello. Welcome to the inaugural, that means first ever, Inclusive Books for Children Awards 2024. Oh, you're a well-trained audience. All right, so you know to cheer at the right places, okay? There'll be no booing tonight, so you don't have to boo anyone at all. And at some point, you might have to say, ooh. Say, ooh. Yeah, because it's that kind of night. We're here at the Barbican. We're here to celebrate. I write books. It's one of the many things I do. And I once made the mistake of asking a group of year 4 students in a primary school, how many books do you think I've written? Because whatever answer was in my head was going to be far less than the answer they would offer up. So one girl put her hand up and said 467. The answer is 9, which doesn't sound very impressive. So I pulled it back. And I said, okay, hands up who's a published author in this room. Yeah, that girl's hand stayed down, by the way. My hand went up. And then I asked a question which is actually quite profound. I said, hands up who's got a story to tell. And you know the tragedy? Every hand stayed down. Exactly. Oh, sorry, yeah. That wasn't quite an ooh moment, it was an ah moment. Come on, Zainab, keep it together. And it taught me something, that a lot of people don't think they've got a story to share. That's what we're celebrating tonight. We're celebrating the fact that everyone's got a story to share. Every perspective is important. Actually, every perspective is vital. And these are the authors, the writers, the illustrators, the publishers who are making that happen. So, in case you run out of energy before the night is done, let's get one big round of applause for every single person who's here tonight, representing Inclusive Books, your good selves. And that little girl who thought I'd written 467 books. But anyway, we'll move on. I'm here to keep the night moving. There's a few things happening that you should know about. One of them is that Ruth Ann is going to transcribe everything I say. Rainbows. Yay, she did it. Right, it's amazing. Everything I say. And it's going to happen the whole night. So Ruth Ann gets the biggest prize for doing this very, very special work. There you go. Inclusivity in action. There's also a live stream taking place, which doesn't affect anyone here, but at one point there'll be a video, and I need to wait for 10 seconds until I speak to you lot after the video has ended. So if anyone can count to 10, help me out, because we need to pause until we get back into the live stream, okay? So that's going to be a little complicated part. But all that being said, let's move on to the judges. Now, sitting in the front row, I was going to ask you to stand up and wave, but let's not do that, are the judges who have spent time, energy, emotional energy. You know when there are streams that meet into one river and everything just comes together because the sources of the streams are exactly the same? The judging process was exactly not that. This was just arguments. This was people not agreeing with each other. This was Zoom crashing. It was all over the place. But we found synthesis. And these judges, they are the people who have decided to put their opinions and their viewpoints towards our winners and our shortlisted authors and illustrators. There's going to be a brief video now to introduce the judges, but they're here. You can say hello. Hi, judges. There you go. There they are. There they are. That's your round of applause. Take it. That's all you're going to get. All right. Enough of me. Over to the video.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Boachi.
My name is A.M. Dasu.
My name is Farah Sarouk.
My name is Jessica Calgren-Farzad.
Hey, I'm Aoife Dooley.
I'm Sonali Shah and I am one of the judges for the Inclusive Books for Children Awards 2024.
It's been a real honour to judge the inaugural Inclusive Books for Children Award. It's so important for children to see themselves represented in the moment they can hold the book. For some it can be a life-changing moment. And so celebrating the best inclusive books from ages 1 to 9 is something I'm really passionate about.
So in each instance we're looking to have books that really speak to the reader. So in terms of the early years category or the toddler category, books that children can read aloud alongside a family member or a friend or a peer, and really get lost in the story world, really enjoy what's coming off the pages in a kind of lyrical and high quality experience, if you like.
I'm looking for a story told whereby the inclusive element is integral to the actual craft of storytelling as well. I think that's the beautiful sweet spot where a marginalised experience is explored and offered to the reader in a way that is kind of essential for the story to take place, because that's how we work in terms of our identities. The things that make us us are essential to our lives. So that's what I'm looking for. And when that happens, it's incredibly magical, but also really powerful. It's when you really start to see as whole a lived experience.
I really wanted to look at whether a story felt authentic. that is so central to these awards. I also unapologetically used my children as part of my judging. The books were out on the dining table. I looked at what they picked up, which books they picked up, which ones they read to each other, which ones they wanted to read with me, which ones they picked up again, which ones they actually finished.
I was particularly interested in championing books that make complex situations really relatable to young children, but use actual terms or experiences. I'm not really a fan of vaguely touching on inclusivity, but not actually explaining our real world's diversity. Especially even for the youngest age group, let's use plain words.
I thoroughly enjoyed judging this year's awards. The books were broad in their content, in their forms of representation in terms of different types of protagonists from different backgrounds, and a nice breadth of genres across the text types as well. So it's really lovely to be able to see a breadth and range in the books that I reviewed as part of the process.
All of the books that I read were so strong in their own way that it was difficult to decide between them. And that actually is what brought me so much joy about this process, to see what we have out there for our kids.
This whole process has been illuminating, and that's probably the thing that I've enjoyed the most, the chance to see into different lived experiences, different narratives, different worlds that I don't always inhabit myself.
I really enjoyed the judging process. I did find it quite difficult though to narrow down the books, because honestly each one brought something completely different and they were all amazing. I really enjoyed learning about different traditions and dialects, and the illustration quality across the board was amazing, and each style was completely different, which I loved because there's just such a variety, and in inclusivity itself as well, across the board.
It was very difficult to choose between such incredible books, and it was great to see books across all age groups that included some great intersectionality, from class and sexuality to ethnicity and disability, rather than just single issue books. So many of these are now firm favourites on our bookshelf.
The books covered many themes, represented a vast amount of diverse experiences, including authentically represented characters from minority, ethnic, neurodiverse, disabled, LGBTQI+ backgrounds, and they were a real pleasure to read. There was a great variety in content, structure, and production of books, and while we agreed all of the entries were interesting and engaging, agreeing on these was less straightforward. In the end, it was a close-run race, and all of those shortlisted in each category should be commended. A huge well done to everyone. Including authentically represented characters from minority, ethnic, neurodiverse, disabled, LGBTQI+ backgrounds, and they were a real pleasure to read. There was a great variety in content, structure, and production of books, and while we agreed all of the entries were interesting and engaging, agreeing on these was less straightforward. In the end, it was a close-run race, and all of those shortlisted in each category should be commended. A huge well done to everyone.
Oh, this is where there's that 10-second delay until, oh, are we clear? I messed that up completely. All right, fantastic. There you go. You get what you pay for. I'm doing this for free. All right, we're going to welcome to the podium Faris Rook, Research and Development Director at CLPE and Chair of our judging panel. Farah, welcome to the stage.
Thank you, that was really lovely. Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for taking the time to join in tonight's celebrations. It feels really surreal to be stood next to such a beautiful, vibrant, lush space next door, especially whilst the world around us burns and our collective humanity is being tested on a daily basis. The sights and smells of the conservatory next door will make us breathe a little more deeply, will expand our chests, and stimulate neurological pathways that should help make us feel a bit better tonight. Promise me that if you haven't already been next door, that you take the time to be there and to prepare you for the gloriousness of that. I want you to take a moment to just relax those shoulders and take it in. Take a deep breath. So after 3, 1, 2, 3. And out. I think we need that. We need to take a moment, okay? And whilst we sit there with these feelings of pleasure and relaxation and collective connection that we're processing in this moment, it's quite magical to know that the same sensations that we're feeling can also be achieved through books, which additionally have the scope to broaden outlooks and challenge thinking, which are absolutely crucial in these testing times. But tonight, we're not just celebrating books, and I promise I'm going to go to M&S style advert, but we're celebrating inclusive books, and inclusive books for children and their creators. And yes, the distinction is important. Children's books are often treated like the poorer relation of the literary world, and traditionally, inclusive books have been viewed as a niche, marginal entity. The work of creating literature for readers in the formative stages of their lives is a complex and sophisticated enterprise. The exceptional skill required to produce an engaging text for a young reader that strikes the right tone, speaks the language of the child without patronising them, builds a story world they can step into, spins a compelling narrative and shapes relatable characters is no mean feat. Very few books aimed at the adult market can withstand the same number of rereads and revisits that bedtime stories and whole class reads demand. And if done right, the book can stay with you for a lifetime. So for authors to surrender themselves to the process of writing requires a great deal of vulnerability, the whirling voices of doubt. Does it make sense? Will people like it? Will anyone read it? Will it sell? All those thoughts must be quite maddening. So to then commit to the writing of a children's book in the knowledge that the substance of what you write might have to navigate additional layers of challenge, relegated to the diversity shelf, or considered lesser in merit by virtue of its inclusive nature, can be soul-destroying. These are challenges faced not only by marginalised authors, but also people and organisations who've advocated for the recognition, elevation and validation of inclusive literature. Advocates like the powerhouse that is Professor Sunny Singh, co-founder of the Jalak Prize, who's fought tirelessly to challenge the problematic assertion that equates inclusivity with inferiority. When the door of opportunity has been closed to you as a marginalised individual, there's a tendency to want to keep it ajar when you find an opening for those who might follow. We've seen that in the exceptional generosity of the likes of the current Children's Laureate, Joseph Coelho, award-winning writer and illustrator Dapa Adeola, and wonderful veterans like Catherine Johnson and Ken Wilson-Max. It cannot and should not be on the shoulders of marginalised creatives to carry the weight of labour and advocacy necessary to shift the landscape. It must be more, it has to be more than that, and it's more than enough to be doing that work of creating a page-turning delight while somehow managing to pay your rent. Our CLP Reflecting Realities annual survey that for 6 years now has reviewed the equality of ethnic representation in UK children's literature was in part devised to do some of the heavy lifting. It's a study that seeks to encourage critical reflection within the industry and support efforts to do better. IBC have stepped into this complex and rich ecosystem with one simple aim, as Sarah shared with you at the outset, to elevate, celebrate and promote good quality inclusive literature. Through their profile-raising work, they're keen to ensure young readers are spoilt for choice. And having sat on many award panels, it excites me to see the pile of possibilities continue to grow and to have the opportunity to have rich conversations about the growing range of titles available. It's important to say that whether or not your name gets read out tonight, you are winning because you are sowing seeds of hope with every mark and every word you commit to paper. Thank you to every single one of you, and thank you to IBC for creating another forum to celebrate this. Now, if you were a group of primary school children, I'd be doing that thing of, raise your hands, pat yourselves on the back, that kind of vibe. But you already humoured me with the whole breathe in, breathe out thing at the beginning, so I'm not going to make you do that. But what I will say is, in a moment, I'm going to invite you to whoop, to clap, to stomp, whatever feels right. Because after tonight, whenever you're feeling alone in the challenges that you face around persevering with this work, I want you to remember this moment, and I want you to know that there is a whole family of people striving towards the same goal, and that you are not alone. So after 3, go wild. 1, 2, 3.
Amazing. Farah's like one of those people that gives your kids back to you after giving them loads of sugar and chocolates and stuff. She's got you all riled up, you know, you're all overexcited now. Calm yourselves down, people. Remember the breathing exercises. Relax. On to the business. That's an ooh moment, by the way. Ooh. The announcement of the awards. Just to mention that these awards do come with a remuneration. There's a prize fund attached to the IBCs. The total's £30,000 in total. I know. You could almost find parking in London for that kind of money, just about. Comprising of a £10,000 prize fund in each of the 3 age categories. Baby and toddler. What's the other one? It's in there somewhere. Picture books, children's fiction. There you go. I wrote it down. What we're going to do now is we're going to run through the baby and toddler shortlist. So we're going to hear all of the titles and their authors and illustrators and their publishers. And then I'm going to invite to the stage one of my fellow judges, Jessica Kelgren-Fozard, who is going to announce the drumroll please winner. It's going to be a very exciting moment. I can sense the palpitations in the air. Champagne guy, top up the glasses. They need it. So, the baby and toddler shortlist. Too Green, written by Shimona Seabroof, illustrated by Maribel Castells, published by Barefoot Books. Zeki Goes to the Park, written by Anna McQuinn, illustrated by Ruth Hearson, published by Alana Max. And Zeki Hikes with Daddy, also written by Anna McQuinn, also illustrated by Ruth Hearson, and also published by Alana Max. Please welcome to the stage my fellow judge. A big warm welcome for Jessica Kelgren-Fozard. Hello. Oh my goodness. I'm just saying, outfits. They're everywhere.
Hi. Don't get too close, though. I will drop sparkles everywhere. Sorry, you can track me across London. Right, this category was incredibly important to me. I'm the mother of a young toddler, and from a very early age, as a deaf mother, to me, sharing language with him, both spoken and signed, is incredibly important. Reading books to him was something that really brought us together. Signing with him, having that bringing us together meant so much, and particularly being able to share books with him that represented his life, his family, and the world around him. But I don't think that diverse and inclusive books are just for him, are just for a child who happens to have parents who come from a mixed heritage, who happens to have 2 mums, who happens to have 1 mum who has disabilities and is deaf. I think they're also for his friends at school who aren't fortunate enough to have any diversity in their family backgrounds, who aren't fortunate enough to know a whole range of different family setups, but who through reading books from the very earliest age can learn so much about what different lives are like. And research shows that if we start early, we can raise incredibly powerful, incredibly thoughtful, actively anti-racist children. And when we start with wonderful books, like these 3 books in this shortlist, we can do it. And I'm so proud today to be presenting this award for these wonderful, incredible books. So let's open the envelope. I feel like I'm at the Oscars. It's amazing. All right. Okay. The winner of the IBC Awards 2024 Baby and Toddler category is Too Green. Yeah. Written by Shimona Seabroof. Come on up. It's a wonderful book. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, for organising such an amazing award. And I think, as you said, in the baby category award in particular, I think there really does need to be the representation. Sorry. Thank you.
Fantastic. Give it up for Shimona Seabroof with 2 green, and thank you so much to my fellow judge, Jessica. We're on our way. That's it. We've had tears already. This is a good night. This is a good night. Right. Unfortunately, Maribel Castells could not be here tonight, but she did send a video through to share. So if you cast your eyes that way or that way, you can see the acceptance speech from Maribel.
Hey, IBC Awards, it's me Maribel, and I greet you from my home in Mallorca, Spain. First off, I wanted to say that I am really sorry because I wasn't able to attend the ceremony. I was looking forward to join this night of books and celebration and positive values, and of course meeting all of you. However, the IBC gave me the opportunity to make this little video, and in some way I can be with you tonight. I am super happy and grateful for this wonderful award, and I greatly thank you, IBC, for choosing our project. And it means a lot because you are highlighting books that goes beyond the literary. I like to think that this book is useful for children to be more open and not to be afraid to try new foods. But it makes me happy to have it recognized as a book that goes beyond that, and it's because it reflects the world we live in with so many families and situations. So thanks so much, Sumana, for writing this book and for being there tonight. And also thanks to our publisher, Barefoot Books, and especially to our editor, Lisa, because she gave so much wonderful guidance throughout the project. And also thanks to my agents, Krista and Danielle, because they are great and supportive with me and my career. If I may, I like to dedicate this award to someone who's really special, someone who I love, and a daily inspiration, and actually helped so much me to understand this character, and it's my son. Sending big hugs to the other nominees and winners, and it's an honor to share with you the first ever IBC Awards. Thanks again, IBC, for this wonderful recognition and generosity, and I hopefully expect that we can meet sometime in the future. For all of you who are in the ceremony, have a great time tonight, and thank you. Bye! Hey, IBC Awards, it's me Maribel, and I greet you from my home in Mallorca, Spain.
Fantastic.
First off, I wanted to say that I am really sorry because I wasn't able to attend the ceremony. I was looking forward to join this
That's a whole other conversation. We're going to move on to the picture book shortlist.
And positive value.
A shortlist of fantastic books, which I'm sure the judges will remember we had to really, really wrestle with how to find a winner out of this bunch. Up in the list are Dadaji's Paintbrush, written by Rashmi Surdesh Pandey, illustrated by Rushi Mashan, published by Anderson Press. Farouk and the Weary Weary, written by Sophia Payne, illustrated by Sandhya Prabhat, published by Templar Books. The Missing Piece, written by Jordan Stevens, illustrated by Beth Susanna, published by Bloomsbury Children's. To the Other Side, written and illustrated by Erica Meza, published by Hodder Children's Books. And You're So Amazing, written by James and Lucy Catchpole, illustrated by Karen George, published by Faber Children's. Please welcome to the stage to present this award, Aoife Dooley. Aoife, get yourself up here. Hiya.
Yeah. Oh, there's two here. Which one is it? Hello? Hello.
Both work.
Oh, this is fancy. I don't really prepare speeches when I'm going to do things like this, and I've never done anything like this before, but I wanted to talk about like how I actually felt reading these books. So it was a really hard and difficult category because each and every book really did bring something amazing, and I actually learned a lot from reading these books too, whether it was dialect or just people's backgrounds, and it really opened my eyes. So I think it's very important that these books do get given to children, like, because as an adult reading them, there was things that I didn't know, and I think that that just kind of says it all, that if you do put these books in front of kids, they're going to learn so much, and I think that's really important, and I think these books are really important, and I'm not going to waffle on for too much longer because I will end up talking for ages because I do that, so I'm sorry. So I'm going to get straight into it, but I am going to do this thing that they do in American reality TV shows where I'm going to go, the winner is. The winner of the IBC Awards 2024 picture book category is You're So Amazing, written by James and Lucy Catchpole and illustrated by Karen George.
Who's going to go first? Hello.
You go first.
I don't know if it's the 30-second version or the minute version. I thought about disability in literature, but I realised that if I started on it, it would end up comparing me and my wife to, Shakespeare, and that's going to go badly. There has always been disability in literature. There's Tiresias, there's Richard III, there's Tiny Tim, and in children's literature, there's Heidi, there's The Secret Garden. I would argue that disability has always pretty much just been a very effective narrative device to evoke emotion, pity, wonder, comedy, horror sometimes. It's hardly ever been an experience to be explored truthfully from the inside. And I hope that's the direction that we're going in now. Sorry about my voice, I had to go to Laser Quest on Sunday. Laser Quest is very loud, it's quite an intense experience. The book started in 2004, really, which is a long time ago, when Lucy and I went on our first date. Lucy can't be here tonight, it was just too far to get from all the way from Oxford, but she's watching on the live stream. Hello, love, wherever you are. When we went on our first date in 2004, we found ourselves talking about the way the world responded to our respective disabilities in such different ways. And that conversation just sort of went on from there, and it's been going on since then, 20 years now, I guess. And this book eventually grew out of that, and it needed both our perspectives. Neither of us could have written it on our own. It needed two perspectives to dilute that truth of our experiences down to this one story, and it needed an illustrator as skillful and as open-minded and sensitive as Karen to have managed to find the artwork to bring it to life on the page. So thank you obviously to Lucy, to Karen, to our editor Alice, to Emma and Nas on art, and to our children, Mani and Viola, who, well, the part they played really is to force me to go back to playgrounds again after 20 years, and to remember thereby quite how, 20 years, 40 years, to remember quite how intense an experience that is. Karen.
Thank you. Yeah, everything that James said, and also it's been usually illustrators and authors are kept at arm's length from each other in creating books. And by necessity, and because James is quite a good chap, we work very closely on this. So that's been a really lovely journey to go on with you, and involved really serious questions, like asking James what he did with his crutches when he scratches his bum. There was lots of conversations and selfies taken, and nuanced eyebrows as well, to get the right expression. So, yes, really lovely to be standing here together tonight. Yes.
Thanks, Emma.
Oh, isn't it nice? Isn't it nice? No? Just me? Nice warm feelings, or maybe that's the Prosecco, I don't know. One of those two things make me feel warm on the inside. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to move on to our third and final category, the Children's Fiction Shortlist. Now, all of these categories are incredibly difficult to judge. If you have young children in your life, be it at school or at home, you will know just how important it is to have something good to read at bedtime. It's the difference between you pulling your own hair out by the fistful or you actually enjoying the process. So we're very lucky to have a shortlist of fantastic books which were in the running. Let's run through them and then we'll hear from the winner. Budgie, written by Joseph Coelho, illustrated by David Barrow, published by Barrington Stoke. Lizzie and Lucky, The Mystery of the Lost Chicken, written by Megan Ricks, illustrated by Tim Budgeon, published by Puffin. Meet the Maliks, Twin Detectives, The Cookie Culprit, written by Zainab Mian, illustrated by Kayan Chang, published by Hodder Children's Books. Sona Sharma Wish Me Luck, written by Chitra Soundar, illustrated by Jen Katoon, published by Walker Books. And finally, Too Small Tola Makes It Count, written by Atanuka, illustrated by Onyinye Iwu, published by Walker Books. Please welcome to the stage someone that it's taken me 3 years to meet in the flesh, and someone who is my twin in everything but name, A.M. Dasu.
Look at our twin game. Hi everyone, I am so excited to be here tonight. I've got to just say that I'm just so honoured, actually, that we have been a part of this judging process. The long list itself was really impressive, and to narrow it down to the shortlist was a difficult job. And then to narrow that further down to a winner was, well, as Jeffrey said, we fought. But we were looking for a standout title in terms of structure, style, pace, characters' motivations. It had to be engaging, enjoyable, thought-provoking, and perfect for a read aloud or independent read. And it had to be authentically diverse. And I'm really delighted to announce the winner of the children's fiction category. This book, it had a strong, confident, compelling, funny voice, a brilliantly written character with clear motivations, much heart, and one that you wanted to champion from the start. The plot was imaginative, intriguing, kept you turning the page. The story eased you in to its mystery, which was imaginatively told. The family dynamics and relationships were superb, stereotypes were challenged, and it was just a really enjoyable, fun read that I personally laughed out loud several times, which I don't often do. So, without further ado, I'm going to pretend I don't know who it is. If you haven't guessed whose book that is, the winner of the IBC Awards children's fiction category is Meet the Maliks, Twin Detectives, The Cookie Culprit.
Oh, my heart is beating out of its chest. And I'm not used to speaking to adults. Well, thank you so much. First of all, I want to dedicate this award to the people that we do it for, to the children, because it's for them that we are trying to create this world that's full of kindness and empathy and compassion, where every voice is heard and every story is celebrated. I'm not going to let myself cry. I want to thank everybody who's involved with this award for amplifying our voices. Every voice in this room, all of you are contributing to this very special space. I want to thank my parents, even though they're not watching the live stream, which I didn't know about. My kids for inspiring my characters, my beautiful agent and my editor, my publicist, and everyone who's ever read the book and shared the book. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Oh, almost brings a tear to my eye as well to think if I wasn't judging, that 10 grand could have been mine. Anyway. Guys, we've made it. To recap the 3 winning titles of the inaugural Inclusive Books for Children's 2024 Awards. Too Green by Shimona Seabrook and Maribel Castells. You're So Amazing, written by James and Lucy Catchpole, illustrated by Karen George. And Meet the Maliks, twin detectives, the cookie culprit, written by Zainab Mian and illustrated by Kayan Cheng. Now, before we're let loose upon canapes and champagne, it would be remiss for me to not thank a number of people who have worked tirelessly to make this whole thing happen. First of all, the long listers. They had the really difficult job because they had to read everything that's ever been written and then work out which of those titles made it to the shortlist. So Fabia, Jake, and Janet, are we in the place? Are we not in the place? There we are. Look at that, standing at the back. Round of applause for our long listers. One more huge round of applause for our BSL interpreter, who's worked tirelessly. Tirelessly. All right, Ruth Ann, don't milk it. Who's worked tirelessly this evening. Thank you so much, Ruth Ann, everyone. Give her a round of applause. That's right. And finally, there is a team of people who, without their work, their efforts, their organisational skills, and their commitment, this evening would not be happening. The IBC team. Everyone from and including Sarah, Marcus, Fabia, Sophie, Sinead, Crystal, Jaina, who's been our clicker tonight. Go on, Jaina. I know, it's a big job. It's a big job. I never had to say click forward now once. That was amazing. And Kia, a big round of applause to the team and everyone at Barbican who's helped make this happen. One final push, everyone. And so ends the IBC's 2024. We've laughed, we've cried. You should probably answer that, it's important. Whatever it is, there you go, yeah, probably. We've laughed, we've cried, we've shared, and now we can go and eat, drink, and be merry. My name's Jeffrey Boachi, I've been your host. Thank you guys so much. Let's go and drink. Okay. Right.